So welcome to my version of Big Chain of Command using D10s as command dice. First I'll dice for the levels of the opposing commanders, starting with the Russians. And now the Germans. So that translates into 3 command dice for the northern group and 5 for the southern group among the Russians. And for the Germans, their northern group gets 3 command dice and the south gets 4. The Germans, though, are marked with blinds at the moment. In this section you can see where the blue dice are, and it's the same in the other areas as well. So to begin with, they're not going to be taking any action until they see the enemy. Right, so for turn 1, the Russian southern group throws their 5 command dice. And they get 2 9s, a 0, an 8 and a 3. So the 2 9s allow them to move 2 units of armour. The 8 allows an infantry company. The 3 is a junior leader, and the 0 can be either a chain of command point or a wild card, and I think for this game I'll use it as a wild card. So the southern front moved their armour forward, the infantry following in the lower part of the picture were used by the throw of the 8, and the wild card moved the armour in the top of the picture, and they are now within view of 2 German units. There are some dummies among the blinds, so I don't know if they are actual units or not. Right, so dicing off camera, I found that lower unit turned out to be a dummy, so there's nothing coming from there, and the more northern one, they failed to get a 4, 5 or 6 to activate that card, so they remain static. Over to the Russians again. Right, so on the northern front, the Russian commander's a lower level. He only has 3 command dice, and he gets 2 0s and a 4, being a senior leader, so 2 wild cards and a senior leader. So the Russian armour and mobile infantry moved forward in the open and also through the town that they already occupied, and that brings them within sight of a possible German unit on the hill, and also less likely over to the left there's Russian armour coming up to that farm, and I'll just dice to see if those Germans spot them and find out whether they're actually present or not. Alright, so no response from either of those German units. The next turn it'll be more likely that they will respond, and so on. Each turn after that it becomes more likely. So we'll move now back to the southern part of the Russian forces. Alright, so Russian turn 2. So I've got a 6, which is artillery, 1, which is a team, 9, which is armour, 7 is anti-tank or ACAC, and 5 is air support. Okay, so I'll throw for the air support and see how long it's going to take to get here. Right, so at the end of this turn it should arrive. Okay, now the 7, they have some anti-tank guns, so they can move. 1, there's no teams in action or in deployment yet, so that'll be a nothing. 9 will be armor, and 6, the artillery. They haven't spotted any targets, so unless something comes up this turn, that will have to be another no-go. Right, so the Shermans move forward and were able to detect the possible German presence on that hill ahead of them, and it turned out to be nothing. The Russians also moved up their small anti-tank gun unit in the centre, and on the northern part of the front the commander only had 3 command dice. Got a senior leader though, so was able to move up 3 units plus 1 armour unit on the left, and that means they've just come into possible viewing of the enemy, but that will have to wait until the next turn. Right, so then the Germans activated some units, some anti-tank guns there, a group of Tiger 1s, some Panzer 3s and Pak 40s, and then on the hill over here an infantry unit. So I'll deploy those now. So the 75 mils weren't able to cause any damage on their targets, but the Tigers were. They blew up 2 of the Russian tanks, and then the Pak 40s also fired at that group and gained a few hits, but weren't able to destroy anything. Right, now I'll just do one more turn because the basics, the chain of command rules, are just the same. It's only the command dice that I'm doing differently, and it just comes down to the basic 10 points, which are pretty flexible in many ways, and it's a good way of using larger forces. So back to the Russians on the southern part of the front, 5 command dice. So we've got 6 for the artillery, 7 for anti-tank, 4 senior leader, 7 is another anti-tank, and 9 is for armour. To the northern front and 3 command dice. They've got a 1, it's a team, 6 is artillery, and 2 is a section. But the Russians weren't able to activate very much on the northern side, but the Germans responded with Tigers getting 2 more strikes on the Russian unit, reducing it to just 1 tank, and the anti-tank guns fired, didn't have any success, and the infantry remained quiet. So that's where I'll leave it for now. I think the forces in this one were probably too big to just have a maximum of 5 command dice. If I was using this level of game again, which I haven't done before, I would increase the number of command dice for the higher level and the lower level commanders, just so they're able to get more of their forces in action. And there's still that level of uncertainty and friction, but you don't get the more than half the units sitting idle. Okay, so thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe if you found the video useful.